the DMV Gridiron, highlighting the best in high school football in the DMV.
Hello DMV fans, welcome to a recap edition of DMV Gridiron. I'm Gregory Coleman.
And I'm Skylar Nelson. We have a great slate of games that we are going to recap for you today, and games to watch out for this upcoming weekend.
From a blowout at Jackson Reed to a 4-touchdown performance at Largo, we will bring to you the scores from this past weekend's games, and we will preview what is to come this upcoming weekend. What we got for us, Skylar?
We begin with the Largo Lions and Glen Gophers. Glen went into this game looking to start the season 2-0, while Largo was looking to win their home opener. Noah Mitchell scored the first points of the game in the first quarter, running a touchdown in before getting called for an unsportsmanlike penalty. Then Largo had a turnover on downs, which led to another touchdown by Mitchell. The following drive by Largo saw a big kickoff return by Amir Belton, setting them up in great field position. The drive was cut short, however, with another turnover on downs, which was a theme in the game for the Lions. The Gophers drive the ball down the field and scored another touchdown in the second quarter with the help of Noah Mitchell. Despite a late fumble in the second half, the Gophers would not have folded under pressure as the Gophers defense displayed a bend but not break mentality all game long. The Lions lose a fumble and Mitchell runs his fourth touchdown of the game in extending the lead to what would be the final score of 27-0. After the game, Mitchell spoke with our very own Kyle Alexander, explaining the mentality behind the big performance and trusting his line.
What's up, DMV Gridiron? This is Kyle Alexander. I'm here with 2026 running back Noah Mitchell. Noah Mitchell, congratulations on a great game. You had 4 rushing touchdowns. What were you able to see out there to allow you to have that big performance?
You just got to trust the line in your receivers to make the blocks for you and make plays yourself. You got to run hard, run for something, run with a passion.
The Gophers will play Annapolis at 6 p.m. on September 19th, while the Lions will play rival Crosslands on Saturday, September 20th at 2 p.m.
What a performance by the Gophers' Noah Mitchell. I can't wait to see what he has in store for us this season. We go from one shutout to another as the St. Albans Bulldogs travel to Jackson Reed High School to take on the Tigers. The game started off with the Bulldogs marching down the field and quarterback Brett Coxtis throwing a pass to Edward Samuel III, who juked 2 defenders before sprinting down the sideline to the end zone to score the first point on the board for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs proceeded to block the Tigers' punt, and Coxtis threw a dime to wideout Zahir Cobb to increase the lead. Cobb later grabbed an interception on defense, which led to Will Martin running in to score. A jet sweep on a future drive to slot receiver Alex Suh put the Bulldogs ahead by 28 before the end of the first quarter. The rest of the game saw much of the same throughout, as Suh would have a mean catch and run, ending in a touchdown score before halftime. The defense had a fumble recovery resulting in a touchdown as well. John Ford ran in the final score of the evening, putting an exclamation point on a dominant road victory for the Bulldogs, who defeated the Tigers 49-0. Head coach Ryan Martin had this to say on his team's performance.
Coach Ryan Martin of St. Albans, you all played a heck of a football game this evening, winning 49-0 against Jackson Reed. Talk about the game plan that you had for the boys coming into this one.
Offensively, we just wanted to capitalize on our offense, just get better. We wanted to have that fine balance between running and throwing the ball. I think that makes us more competitive when they're able to have that balance offensively, being able to throw it and run it. And the kids went out and just executed. We didn't put anything new. We just wanted to execute our offense and just get better.
Bulldogs have a bye next week, while the Tigers will face against Pace this Friday.
The Bulldogs definitely had a strong performance against the Tigers. From a pair of shutouts to a solid performance, Sidwell Friends took on St. John Paul the Great Catholic High School this past Friday. The Quakers of Sidwell Friends were victorious in their efforts as they defeated the Wolves 28-14. The Quakers had 2 interceptions and a kickoff return for a touchdown in the victorious effort. The Quakers will take on the Griffins of Bell this Friday on September 19th in a non-league matchup. The Wolves will take on the Paul VI Panthers in a non-league matchup this Friday on September 19th in a matchup with both teams looking to get back to winning ways. The Wolves are 1-2 while the Panthers are 1-1 after a 41-38 loss to St. Michael the Archangel.
Congratulations to the Quakers on that decisive victory. You've been seeing a lot of games with a good amount of points being scored. That stops with this one right here, as we all love to see the occasional defensive struggle. The Landon Bears took on the Flint Hill Huskies in Friday night action at Flint Hill, with Landon winning the game 13-6. Landon will travel to take on the Murray Frogs, who are 1-0 on the season, this Friday on September 19th at 4:30 p.m. The 0-3 Huskies of Flint Hill will look to avenge their loss this Saturday on the 20th as they host the Episcopal Maroon, who are 0-1 on the season.
Somebody is going to get their first win on the season. I can guarantee you that. The last game we covered from this past weekend was covered by Peyton Amari Smith and Winter Sky Galloway. It was the City College Black Knights versus the Randallstown Rams in a low-scoring affair. The Rams scored in the first half with an efficient drive that resulted in a touchdown. After that, it was all defense, and that touchdown would turn out to be the only score in the entire game. The defense of the Rams was the MVP for the game, intercepting the Black Knights quarterback 3 times and shutting down any offensive momentum that the City College had. The Black Knights were frustrated as they are a team dedicated on execution during recent years. They struggled to build a consistent offensive attack despite the effort of their defense stifling the Rams. The Rams will play the Woodlawn Warriors while the Black Knights will play the Patterson Clippers this weekend.
That sounds like old school football right there, Skyler. As eventful as last weekend was, this weekend will surely provide some hits as well. This Friday on September 19th, SASN will be covering a plethora of games that you will surely be excited for.
Absolutely, Greg. Myself and Urel Hogan will be going to the Archbishop Spalding to cover the Cavaliers as they host the Calvert Hall Cardinals at 7 p.m. Elijah Johnston and Sidney Mosley will be covering the Wise Pumas versus the Flowers Jaguars. Last year, Wise won 28-7, so we're going to see if the Jaguars can avenge that loss, Greg.
Those are some exciting games right there, Skyler. And I cannot wait to go on Friday night with Asia Murphy to cover the Bullis Bulldogs hosting the Loudon Sports Academy Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are looking to go 3-1 on the season, while the Bulldogs looking to get back at 500 and try to go 2-2 on the season. Finally, Carly Williams will be traveling to cover the West Potomac Wolverines, taking on the South Lake Seahawks in a non-conference matchup. All that and more will be occurring this weekend. I surely cannot wait.
Neither can I. And on that note, that wraps up our broadcast for the day. Thank you for watching DMV Gridiron on Scholar Athlete Sports Network.
For the latest news, updates, and interviews, and game highlights on all things DMV High School sports, be sure to follow us on Instagram at sasn.tv, at tvsasn on X, formerly known as Twitter, and subscribe to the Scholar Athlete Sports Network on YouTube, and be sure to look us up on dmvgridiron.com.
Be sure to tune in next week for another edition of DMV Gridiron, recapping this weekend's games and previewing next weekend's events. From SASN TV, I'm Skylar Nelson.
And I'm Gregory Lloyd Coleman. Have a splendid rest of your week, DMV fans, and as always, most importantly, stay blessed.
Stay gone.
Talking about
The DMV Gridiron, highlighting the best in high school football in the DMV. Follow the best in DMV high school football, players, coaches, and teams at dmvgridiron.com.